This is a Lion Pond Beats production. This is a Lion Pond Beats production.
What's going on? First, I want to say thank you all for your patience. I appreciate you all for coming in and watching. We're running a little bit late, but that's what happened when you're business people. You kind of run a little bit late because you're taking care of some major things. But I do want to thank you all to the Signal 27 show. Thank y'all for coming in. If I thank you any more times, I'm gonna run out of breath. So don't expect it no more. So let me go ahead and let y'all know we have the panel right here to my left. Who do we have to our left?
I'm Joseph Tolbert.
And what you do, Joseph?
I own a few businesses: Harvest Group Institute, Harvest Group Global Services, and Cash Koi Financial Services.
See, and that's what I'm talking about. A lot of stuff going on in Jacksonville. And to my right, we have a couple of comedians. Who are y'all is?
My name is Osric Cooley. I'm a comedian, also businessman, also father, also a lover,
Any good at it?
ex-scripper. I couldn't strip. I script with the S and the K. Yeah, till my knees went bad. And do you know that most strip clubs don't have a 401k or any kind of medical thing? I tried to call out. I couldn't get no workers' comp or nothing. But yeah, entertainer. That's what I do. I MC and tell jokes, clean Christian comedy, and also adult, not so Christian comedy.
Sound like to me he's an all-purpose, all-around comedian. You know what I'm saying?
And not
and
so
to the
Christian.
far right, we have this lovely young lady. To the far right,
I'm a comedian, Claudine. I ain't halfway what they are, but I'm a comedian by night, nurse by day, and whatever else they know.
yo, why is he pinching his nipples, yo? Yo, okay, so
He like
that's
to
how
touch
we're
his
gonna
own
start.
chest.
That's how we're gonna start, by pinching the nip. No, I'm not doing that because never mind. Anyway, yeah, Yo, okay. So first and foremost, what I didn't do last week because I was kind of going off the cuff, I typically give 15 minutes to our BOBs or our black-owned businesses here in Jacksonville. We happen to have one of our BOBs in the house by Joseph Talbert. Also, why you look like that? You thought somebody's behind?
What are you talking about?
Yeah, you.
Okay, all right.
I also want to give a big shout out to DNA's on St. John's Bluff and Beach.
Right.
They are a good, clean restaurant. Some of the best chicken in Jacksonville, fresh herbs and spices. Go out there and check them out.
Is that opposed to rotten herbs and spices?
Yeah, because you don't want to go to somewhere. I was about to throw a business under the bus. I'm not about
Don't
to do that.
Don't
Yeah,
do that.
because you know
You're trying to get sued.
Yeah, I mean, if it's a Chinese restaurant, I don't think it matters. Chinese people typically don't watch black people anyway. You know, you get your fried rat or fried cat, however you like it. You feel me? I want to give a shout out to them. I want to give a shout out to Two Saints out there on 103rd, way out there on 103rd. Clean Christian atmosphere, good food at a reasonable price. And last but not least, I want to give a shout out to Dynasty Cuts on Dunn. Veronica, she usually cut me up before I have a real big show. She's excellent. She has a way of making sure her clients are scheduled properly to get in and get out. You really never see the next person coming in, and she's real good. Met her at a hair show, and she killed it for me. I just like, man, I just got to go to her. So I recommend that you all check her out, like her on Facebook, and see what she do. You know what I'm saying?
Shampoo bowl girl.
A shampoo bowl girl. What's that?
The ones that hold you hostage in there until they get to the real hairstylist.
no. She's a barber. She cut. She don't do the shampoo. You know, at least I have never seen it done. You know.
Leroy, my back hurt, man. We got to get some different chairs.
Oh, okay. We can. You want to put a pillow back there?
Oh,
There's a pillow right there. Yeah, put a pillow back there. Yeah, we hood.
Get comfortable.
Yeah, I know, but you get that free workman's comp. There you go. So typically what I do next is a get to know me section. I really didn't think of anything to try to get to know us. So let's see. We did, what was it? What's your favorite cartoon?
I remember that.
You did that one. I also did what's your favorite movie, right?
Right.
Okay.
Cereal.
Cereal?
What's your favorite cereal?
Okay. Well, bet. What's your favorite cereal?
Oh, no, that ain't cereal.
That's a form of cereal.
It's a form of cereal. I'm talking about the cold, sugary, nice stuff.
My parents were preachers. We ain't had that. We had oatmeal.
Oh, preachers can't eat sugary cereal?
It was against.
Did they let you put sugar in it?
No.
Plain oatmeal?
Plain, you know, the puff wheat and the puff rice. When you put the wheat in and then you put the milk in and the wheat and the rice.
Oh, that's nasty. I'm sorry for your childhood.
I know, right?
Wow.
Yo, yeah, that's heartening.
Yeah, you should have been able to call Child Protective Services.
Oh, that's on the real.
That's
hard. That's torture.
That is not a happy childhood at all.
No, it's not.
And I thought we had it bad.
Right.
Ugh.
I think I had a couple. I think my favorite black cereal.
What's a black cereal?
I'm gonna explain this.
Okay.
I'm gonna explain this.
Yeah.
My favorite black cereal was Super Crisp. That Super Sugar Crisp.
Super Sugar Crisp.
Yeah, because it was a black dude. The bear was a black dude.
Oh, the bear was a black dude.
Super Golden Crisp.
Oh, you talking about Sugar Bear?
Yeah. That was about
Golden Crisp.
That was Sugar Bear.
Yeah. Because you could tell he was the first black cartoon cereal, spokesperson. You know what I'm saying? Can't get enough of Super Golden Crisp. I was like, yeah.
Yeah, he was smooth. He was smooth.
Yeah, that was my black cereal now. When I wanted to try to get
Okay, so what's a white cereal?
My white cereal.
Oatmeal with no sugar in it?
No. My white cereal, Frosted Flakes. Kellogg's Frosted Flakes. I couldn't eat the generic kind. It had to be Kellogg's.
It had to be Kellogg's.
Yeah,
the generic kind.
It
was all crunchy, and you never know what you got.
I think I had diabetes about 3 times before I turned 9 years old.
I can dig it, brother.
I used to pour like a handful of sugar.
Well,
it'd be sugar at the bottom of the bowl.
That you can scrape up with the spoon?
Right.
Yeah. I know what time it is. Oh yeah.
Oh my God.
I'm surprised I don't have diabetes.
Yeah.
But God. That's all I can say to that.
Yeah, no doubt. Yeah, my favorite cereal, it was, I guess about 2 of them. It was one they don't make no more called Kaboom. It was with a clown. It had some marshmallows in it. And it was no brand, of course. Yeah, that's all my mama would buy at that time is no brand cereal, which is why I don't eat no brand cereal now. Like, you can't make me buy. I won't eat breakfast before I go buy no brand cereal. Kaboom. See, Kaboom was the deal. But now I eat a whole lot of Fruit Loops. They even got Fruit Loops with the marshmallows in it now. So
Fruit Loops with the marshmallows.
Fruit Loops with marshmallows. It don't.
Ain't that Tricks?
No,
not Tricks.
Tricks
What
ain't
was the other one. Lucky Charms.
Yeah, no,
Lucky
yeah,
Charms?
no. Lucky Charms. The Lucky. I'm like a cereal connoisseur.
Okay.
The Lucky Charms cereal, not the marshmallow. The cereal ain't sweet. They want the marshmallow to actually add the sugar, but Fruit Loops, Fruit Loops, the loop itself got like 9 spoons of sugar in it, and then they got now they got it with marshmallows in it, which even make it better. And then I put sugar in that too.
You sound like marshmallows in my cereal.
So yeah, I put sugar in my Fruit Loops with marshmallows in it.
Yeah, because I didn't like Lucky Charms because of that.
The marshmallows?
Yeah, I didn't like that.
No, I used to take all the Lucky Charms out and just eat the marshmallows.
Okay, y'all. Sorry to cut you off. We got a phone call. Let's see what this time. This on your head. Hey, this is the Signal 27 Talk Radio. You're speaking with Leroy, and you're on the phone. Speak your mind. Say what you got to say.
Put the hell on the go.
What? Is this David?
All them people can't come in the Lakewood. Put the names on the door.
Put the names on the door. What you talking about, man?
I have no idea what he's talking about. What's up, David,
All
man?
them people can't get in here. You can't let all them people in here. Put the names on the door.
He talking about Joe Olsteen. Yeah, we was gonna hit up Joe Olsteen, David, man. But you got to it before we even finish our get to know us segment. So, y'all want to go into the Joe
My
Olsteen?
apologies. I'm gonna be quiet and listen because I left my phone at home, so I had to look the number up. But I'm gonna hang out with you guys if that's okay.
No problem. But I mean, obviously we got it working because you can obviously hear us, right?
Yeah.
I hear you loud and clear.
Okay. Well, hello.
I heard Isaac over there too.
Yeah, he right here.
Yes, sir. I'm in the building. Tight shirt night and all.
Oh, y'all got
It is tight shirt night. I think it's an extra tight shirt night today.
got Royalty in the house. Who else you got in there?
Oh yeah, we got Queen Claudine in the house.
We got the Queen.
And we got our B.O.B. in the house, Mr. Joseph Talbert Jr.
What's up, man?
Well, hey,
So
honor and respect my fellow comedians. Let's make them laugh. That's what
Likewise,
we put on
my
this
friend,
earth to
likewise.
do.
yeah, we definitely
And
appreciate
they
it.
need us right about now.
Yeah, so go ahead and let us give us your opinion on the whole Joel Olsteen situation since you started it early.
Put your chains on the door.
Yeah. It is.
He had a nervous breakdown. He went from. Well, thank you for watching us here at Lakewood Baptist. We want you to know if you're ever in town, me and my lovely wife Victoria will be glad to have you, and she is glad to have me because I'm handsome. After the hurricane, put the gun on the door. He's already coming to the show. Go out there and start coming to another place and feel no more first. You can't just come in here. Put the chains on the door. He built this for me. He didn't build it for all of y'all. Put the chains on the door. Woo! hey. But TDJ's had his back. He said, y'all get y'all canoe and get ready. That's what. No, but I think that one don't go over as smooth.
That's good. Keep that church crowd alive.
I went to Atlanta last night and did a guy's 50th birthday, and we was in the backyard. But when I let them put that chain on the door loose last night, everybody caught the spirit. I put the chain loose on the door. I had the birthday boy say it on the mic. I meant to put the birthday boy. Oh, my wife didn't told me that up. We had the movie thing in the parking lot. I hear over Phillips Highway. You know this. I'm a black man with a dashiki shirt on, yelling in the parking lot. So yeah, I'm gonna pray for my strength in the Lord.
Yo, all right, man. Yeah, since he brought it up, we'll go ahead and mention. All right, David, we'll definitely holler at you, man. You be safe in whatever movie you're watching. Hold her hand.
Okay, yeah, we already finished the movie, and I learned something real good from my brother Leroy, and I want all the men need to take heed to this. Y'all know I representing the woman and respecting them and honoring them. And I watched Leroy. I got a chance to ride with Leroy like I do from time to time, and I noticed how he opened the door for his wife and his daughter, and I don't do that. Because the women would fight for equal rights, so I let them equally get their door open by themselves. You know what I mean? But as I was watching the brother Leroy open them doors and seeing the love and the energy and what he's trying to create and the message, I said, you know what? It ain't enough for me to open a car door or open the door to a building, because that woman got the ability to open some doors. When you walk through them doors that she got, you experience something that is so magnificent. You see what I'm saying? So go ahead and start practicing opening them physical doors for them, because she got a door that will take you to other realms of imaginations and escalations and ejaculations.
Okay,
if
brother.
we can say that.
As soon as he said ejaculation, listen, he all those out there.
Hey, I appreciate y'all, man. I'm gonna watch y'all on there, man. I appreciate y'all.
All right.
All right, no problem, man.
That's
Thank you
what's
for
up. Thank
calling
you,
in,
man.
man. Man, David a trip, man.
Yeah, he wild.
Yeah. Then he out there, maybe out there ejaculating at the movie theaters.
I hope not, brother. I
David
hope
a
not.
freak, though. You know you're a freak, David a freak. That's why you're a vegan. All that
He
extra
be his
energy.
energy.
Yeah. Shoot, but he bring up a good point though. That whole Joel Olsteen situation, man. Like he was saying that he wasn't opening the doors for the church. And then he had people going around his church actually recording it during the storm, and ain't nobody in it. But then obviously when you start getting pressure from like news outlets as to why you're not doing it, then all of a sudden you opening the doors and you're talking soft and you ain't got no bass in your voice, you know. Right, you know what I'm saying? So I mean, it is what it is. Church is a business though.
Yeah, the guy with the mattresses was really nice. That opened his doors up with the mattress company.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, I heard about that. Yeah, and then he gave a woman on her birthday, because she was there, said when she get up on her feet, he was going to give her mattresses, like a bed and stuff like that. So I commend him. But the whole Joel Olsteen situation, I figured with it being business the way it is, I mean, if you think about it, he kind of got a right to do whatever he wanted to do. I mean, I do feel like it's bad though.
I heard one person that defended him, a friend of mine, as a matter of fact, and it made a lot of sense what he was saying. He was saying you got to look at the logistics of this thing. First of all, you can't just open your doors to something like that because, like you said, it's a business. You got equipment, you got
Right.
all kinds of
Right.
stuff there, and then if you're letting people in, who's going to look after them? You got to have people there to do that.
Right.
And
You
I
gotta
did. I
have
saw.
security.
Yeah,
You got to have
yeah.
police. Where's all the police officers?
I saw an interview
They evacuating like everybody. You know what I
where
mean?
he said
Doing
he
what they gotta
had
do.
people that was like staff who were stranded
right
themselves.
Right. That's what I'm saying. It's
Right.
like
So I agree. I mean, I was looking at it and I was like, well, like I don't know all the logistics. I also was reading some stuff where, you know, it's an insurance issues, liability issues, and most churches are underwritten by a particular insurance company that deals with churches. So you know I don't understand all of the ins and outs. I would have to and hope that would imagine if it was life or death in an immediate life or death that something would have been done or something could have been done, because when if it was immediate life or death, then the equipment and things don't really matter in the face of it all. But if in his mind it's gonna work out, it's getting worked out all over the place, from Osric, where you were saying all of the logistics and stuff like that, we don't understand, and we don't see it, you know. So I tried to not have an opinion. And I mean, I've done things where people look at me and say, "Why would you do that?" Well, I know why I did it. And it makes perfect sense to me, but it may not make perfect sense to you. And so I try to remember that before I judge a situation like that. So I don't really know. You know, I don't have a real opinion, I guess.
Say being that my parents are preachers, they always say the doors of the church are open until what? Until a storm comes through. But
Well, all churches ain't like that no more. You can't just walk up at a church at 2 o'clock in the afternoon and the door open like it used to be.
People paying money that are members of the church. If he would have said, okay, then they come first or whatever, then he would have been sending them out. But still, he could at least open it up for the people that attend this church. You know, the first time the church and the doors of the church are open, and ain't no offering taken. At that
that might have a lot to do with it, though. That
Yeah,
might
that's
have,
it. I don't know. I don't know.
yeah, that might have something to do with it, for real.
Yeah, I guess I try to look at it from the perspective.
It's
I don't,
tough.
You know,
It's tough,
It's a
man.
tough decision.
It's
I would
a tough
imagine,
decision. It really
because
is.
so I don't know. You know, I don't know. Did anybody pass away because he didn't?
I don't know.
They got 39.
I personally have other issues with Joel Olsteen before this even
Before-
came up.
yeah.
They can't.
You know, he's an excellent pastor and preacher and stuff.
It seems like it for
But,
what I
hear
can
me,
see and
Holly?
tell.
You know, he stays
Testing,
in his lane
testing.
as far as what he preaches.
Go ahead and say something, Claudine, real quick.
Can you guys hear me out there? Can you hear me? Y'all like that if you can hear me.
You
Holly?
hear the echo.
How do y'all phone do all that
I'm
nice
sorry.
stuff? I can't get mine to do nothing.
So you should be, because you're spiking now over here. Yeah, I had you turned up on the wrong
she
way.
said, all right, Shantari said yes.
I apologize, y'all. Just putting it together real quick. You know, I'm done apologizing. Thank y'all for watching.
you, Holly.
I appreciate
Right,
y'all.
no doubt.
But my take on it is like it's similar to
Thanks, Nicole, Marlene.
what Osric was saying. Like, you go to the shelters already have
Fox gun
people
in the
already
house.
set up in place to feed them.
Yeah.
Cots already ready.
I didn't even
and
think
all
about
that.
security and cops.
Right.
And I heard somebody said, I saw an interview, they said when they opened up in Louisiana, the stadiums for that, women were getting sexually assaulted because
Yeah.
nobody was
Yeah.
there.
Yeah.
And so yeah, you got to think about it from a bigger perspective. I would not have thought people were getting robbed, beat, and sexually assaulted in those shelters because there was nobody there to govern it. That's insane to me.
Yeah.
People, boy.
And so you got.
You want to see the nature of people? Let a catastrophe happen.
Well, we've been seeing the nature of people in the past.
I know, right?
Past month.
Right.
Actually, since the election.
Yo, the election
All
put
that
them out
water
on
go
Front
down.
Street.
Yeah,
The
the
statue's gonna keep coming down too.
Yo, but y'all, that's what I wanted to bring up too. Did you
I was
hear
gonna say
about?
we could talk about statues. I got a whole lot to say about them crazy statues.
No.
Them statues gonna keep coming down.
Before we talk about the statues, let me go ahead. Y'all saw her come in. You know what I'm saying? This is Miss Foxy
Hi
Guns.
everybody, I made it. You know they put the address in there and I'm so dysfunctional. I thought I was going to a different location. But thank you, Claudine. Because you talking about go to the same place you went last week.
Place last
I'm
week.
like, I got it. But you know what? That GPS had me going the other direction.
It's a white girl.
Yeah, it's a white girl. She don't know about that.
But we're in the white
Yeah.
neighborhood.
Oh, yeah.
No, this
Claudine
is.
saved me today.
Yeah, okay.
She saved me.
In 1/4 of a mile, you will have reached your destination.
Yeah.
She sounds just like her. You like the Black Siri. Yo, what's that?
You know, with Waze, you can have anybody you want.
I heard that they got.
They
what's
got
her
it.
name
Yeah,
now?
Morgan Freeman.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, yeah. I got
That's
Snoop Dogg on
God.
mine.
Really? Who?
Yeah.
How you tell you where to go?
You got who?
Snoop.
Dogg.
You can with Waze, you can pick different personalities and different voices.
What Snoop be saying? You want to
No,
smoke
he just
some?
said, in 1/4 of a mile, you got turn. You know how I say.
So he high. He's smoking weed through the phone.
Smoking weed, like, yeah. Get high.
Yo. Okay. Well, we're gonna go back to topic because we talking about getting high. Yeah. Yo.
Okay.
There's a baby back there. Needless to say, we was talking about the statues coming down and
Okay.
pause.
I'm sure.
I think somebody missing a baby.
Time to
Yo,
breastfeed.
yeah, I know, right? Not these titties though. Ain't nobody. I can't get no milk out these titties.
What's wrong with you?
I can't pinch my nipples the way Oz pinched his nipples. You know, Oz go straight down. I got leverage on my my nipples go underneath, y'all. Y'all know how women. Y'all know how I be when your titties mess around and go into your armpits. They not there yet though. You know what I'm saying?
Wow,
But
bro.
in reference to the statues, I heard about the Georgia senator, congressman threatened to kill. Oh, David, that must be hitting the topic, right?
Is David coming back?
Yeah, David. Yeah, hold on.
Put the chains on the door.
Hey, David.
Yes, sir.
All right. We was talking about the senator, right? Who threatened to kill the black woman. She was a judge, right?
Oh, I didn't hear about that one yet. I thought I heard y'all talking about the statues. Did you skip to that over that one?
We getting there.
We getting there. But to talk about the statues,
as always, you premature.
I got a response for that, but I'm gonna hold it.
I do appreciate that.
I was gonna say as long as I get it on you. That's what I was gonna say. But y'all gotta remember I'm a comedian now. You know?
Oh, David, come on.
That was funny. That was a good comeback.
Okay. It's still Sunday.
Hey, wait a minute. I got to be the one to rebuttal, and since nobody else ain't calling in, I get to call in on every topic. So that let the audience let that be a lesson. If you don't call in, then I'm gonna call in. So you better start calling in if you don't want me to call in. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah,
but I wanted to say, I heard about the security. I heard about they didn't get the security in place. People was going there and going to steal things and all that. But I want to ask you the grand old question: what would Jesus do? Now, would Jesus tell the people to hold on? Hold on, I ain't got enough bread and fish. I can't do nothing with these 2 loaves and this 1 piece of fish. Would Jesus tell the multitude, put the shit on the dough? Or would Jesus tell them?
I think Jesus would have just told the water to go away.
What'd you say now?
Jesus would have just told the water to go away.
It was a couple of Jesus strips trying to find shelter out there.
Jesus.
Yeah, you in Texas. You know how many Jesuses you got in Houston?
Oh, listen, the hurricane is coming.
Right.
Run. How you say run in Spanish?
What Jesus would do was the same thing everybody else was trying to do. They was trying to find some dry ground.
That's right. Well, what was the next topic? I can wait on the statue thing, but I want to bring attention to, and I think I spoke about this in my comedy last night. We got to be careful. To the right. We got to be careful because these statues and monuments and these, they making me direct and drive and all this stuff in front of the back seat. But we got to be conscious that we come up in schools that were named after slave owners. We in an environment where these people, they celebrate humans that mistreated other humans, raped them, pillaged them, killed them, and they put symbols in schools and streets and all that. We're indoctrinated with that stuff. So now all of a sudden, the mainstream of media is allowing attention to go to these things. They know they've been there. They've been there for, decades? You know? So why all of a why all of a sudden now you bringing attention to it? They trying to distract us and control our energy, because right now we're in a good place where if we in peace and love, we can create and things can change. See, that eclipse was a major thing. And then they snatched up Baba Dick Gregory. Shout out to Baba Dick Gregory. But he was alive back when the first full eclipse came, and then they snatched him up when the second eclipse came. I don't want to be the conspiracy theorist guy, but that's just what I heard through the grapevine.
You trying to say Dick Gregory ain't got no dirt on him?
No, they saying they.
Well, he got dirt on him.
He's saying they took him out of here because he was here.
They took him here. But all right, David, we're gonna hit that up. We're gonna talk about that in a few. All right, man.
Well, I mean, there's a whole plane still missing.
They gonna take the Statue of Liberty down next.
A plane.
They
plane full of scientists and.
You think they gonna take the Statue of Liberty?
They probably will. She green.
She green.
No, but everybody know the Statue of Liberty was black first. You know that before they changed the head on it.
Yeah,
so.
because she got her fist up in the air.
Yeah, the Statue of Liberty was meant to be black. French sent her over here with a black nose and all of that, and America wasn't having that because they can't look at a person that's similar to a black woman or have them as like a statue. So.
She got that Black Panther
So they
thing
gave
going
them
on.
those jobs.
Yeah.
Yeah, for the most part. Yeah, that's what they did. So.
But like Michael Jackson.
I've been so educated today. Yeah.
Hey, well,
as well you should.
Yeah,
I'm loving this.
Yeah.
We
first
tried.
with the street.
That first with the street.
I know, right?
Hey, it's awesome.
No man.
Oh, I'm about to get real hood.
Yeah.
Hey, no.
No, you didn't, bro.
Can I get some water in here?
No.
That's the way you got to do it. Listen, we real, y'all.
I know, right?
Uh-oh.
What was that?
Was that the baby?
What was that? What are you eating? Okay, bye. If I can't really correct my daughter, something.
Not on camera.
Yeah, I wait to cuss her out. Yeah, it's gonna happen, y'all. Don't. Yeah, she about to get it, But back to the black woman who almost got threatened. Well, didn't almost. She did get threatened by the congressman. Now, how do y'all feel about that? I think that is like what is.
Well, he should have been arrested. It's illegal. It's a criminal act to threaten somebody's life.
That's
right.
If it was anybody else, it was one of us who threatened someone else, the police would have been over in a matter of minutes. Mm-hmm. I think that he should have been locked up right after doing that, because if you threaten anyone's life, hey, you need to go to jail.
I done got people arrested for threatening me back in the day.
Y'all know you can't.
and if I hit a girl through my hand, I still can't.
Call 911.
Can't be calling 119.
Oh, so yeah, he should have been
So
arrested.
yeah, she could have pressed charges immediately.
Right, but then that makes you ask the question: is like, if that's one who came out thinking like that, how many more of them that are our representatives think like that as well? So that makes you think, do they all want it? Just because we turn down these old plastic fake metal statues of these bigots?
And the truth about the statues, like my pastor, my spiritual dad, he brought out a point that really blew me away, and he's a white guy. He said that we all talk about General Lee and all of those guys. He said, but the truth of the matter is, anybody who signed the Declaration of Independence, the Constitution, anybody who signed that stuff and then turned and said, now boy, go get me a Coke, or I guess they didn't have Coke then. Said, but every statue of anybody.
No.
He said, why in the world do we celebrate people like what you just said? Like he just said, why are we celebrating people who were bigots?
It's not the same.
You celebrate. It is the same.
It's not the same.
It's exactly the same.
Explain to you why it's the
Explain
same.
to me why it's not the same.
Because first of all, those guys were slave owners. They didn't fight for slavery or anything like that. George Washington was
a slave.
Hold on, brother. Let me finish my thought.
I ain't scared of you. She said because you said I'm little. Just because you said I'm little. I know. Go ahead.
But they were slave owners, true. But they're still the founding fathers of the country. So the country is here because of those people. So for any other thing, we can honor them just for that. The reason the statues of General Lee and all of those people is because they are actually rebels. They actually, they should be counted as
treason.
Treason.
Right.
They fought against the country.
No, I agree with
These United
that.
States that we're talking about.
Right. But look at I absolutely
against that, and they fought for slavery.
Right, I
so
absolutely
that's
100% agree with that. But I'm looking at it before that, because people looking at these guys rebelling, that's all symptomatic.
But if we do that, we got to erase all
Hold on,
of history.
Hey, bro, let me finish my statement, bro.
You got to erase all of history.
No, but see, at the end of the day, you got to look at the fact that somebody's got to say it, and I think white people should be saying it. America was not created right. It was started skewed. And so all of that you see, the rebellion, fighting for slavery, all of this that you see today, it's a product of the symptom which you had, and I say this, it can be debated, but I'm going to use the terminology. You had men who were in flawed character saying, we are creating a nation for people to be equal. And while it was coming out of their mouth, they didn't believe it. Do you see what I'm saying? Right. And so when you create something that's false like that, what do you think we have today? And so you can't pick and choose to be mad at the apples on the tree when nobody's going to discuss the fact that America was created. It wasn't even created in truth. It was created skewed. It was created by men. Why they were signing the paper?
It was created and skewed, and it was not created in truth. But the whole point of now, we got to rectify. Just because things started out wrong, it does not mean they have to continue.
I agree, but it's going to continue if nobody says it started off wrong. Everybody's out here fighting for the symptom, and nobody's going to the root.
We know
problem.
It's wrong. We know how the country started. We understand that. But again, we was talking about the statues. The reason
they all should come down.
Again, the reason that we're talking about these statues, these guys that we're trying to make heroes, once again rebelled against the country, and they were fighting to keep people a certain way.
I absolutely agree.
You know
like that's not a debated. That's not debatable.
So that's why we're talking about those statues.
But they all should come down.
Again, you got to erase all of history in order for that to
But number one,
you can't erase all of history.
It's not about erasing all of history. We need the true history to even come out. It is a false narrative to say that America was created for equality. It's not true. It's not a true narrative to say that black people didn't have anything to do with it. That's not true.
Okay.
So we're fighting somebody erasing history. We got to come to terms with the fact that history is not even being taught correctly. The little bit they do teach, they're saying it's black history as if it's something different from American history.
I agree with you on that.
And nobody's willing to say the problems that y'all are fighting is going to persist. You can cut off an apple, and guess what's going to happen? Another apple is going to grow. You can cut off the branch, guess what's going to happen? Another branch is going to grow, because nobody is dealing with the root issue, which is it was all created under a false narrative that nobody's really getting.
What's your pastor say? What's your pastor tell you?
The answer?
Yeah.
There is no answer beyond first talk about the real problem, and nobody wants to do that. The same way white people don't want to say, when you hear a white person say, what you want us to do, erase history? Yeah, y'all were slaves and it ain't no more. No, you don't get it. It's not about erasing history. Let's talk about the reality of what happened and what still is happening. The reason it keeps coming, people say, okay, I can't believe it's 2017, and here we are going through this stuff again. You know why? Because nobody's dealing with the root issue. You can cut off the branch and it's going to grow back over time.
Yeah, the root issue is that is systematic racism.
Right,
it didn't have to be systematic back then. So it was slavery, and now it's systematic.
When it became it was created in the systematic racism. You know how many white people say that there's no such thing as systematic racism?
There's no such thing as systematic racism.
It is.
Because they can't see it.
But the reason they don't believe it's a such thing is because they don't see the reality of it started when they signed that paper, and they had slaves.
Right.
They were out of their mouth saying, all men are created equal. We're going to create a nation where people can thrive and blah, 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 and then turn around and say, the boy not going to give me a drink. That created the false narrative that created this invisible system.
But is it a false narrative when they really didn't see other people up to their level? When they say people, they meant them in particular.
You can devise in your own mind. Think about people. I can look at a woman and say she's lesser to justify me treating her like crap. That don't mean that don't mean I don't know that that's a person. They knew that they were people. They had to come up in their own minds that they're lesser so they can justify treating them in this way. When they went to Africa, they knew they were going to Africa to go get some people. They knew they were people.
But I understand that. But you're trying to think. We're thinking about the beginning. Now we're thinking about what has to be done. Now more people are educated. Back then you couldn't read and write. They did not allow those slaves to be able to read and write. So people were not educated for years on why and what was going on. We were only taught to follow what we were told. And now with Trump in office, I'm gonna tell you a lot of stuff is coming out. People see bigotry. People see racism. A lot of people you sit next to at work, you didn't know there was a racist until Trump came in. They're gonna vote for him because that's the way they think. Their thought processes, they're revealing themselves.
When Obama got in office, racism started to raise its little ugly head when people didn't think racism still existed. People who you thought was cool when Obama got in office, they went crazy. No, they didn't go crazy. They've been crazy.
Right.
It's just now a reason said. And Trump is just a prelude or the afterthought of what all of the people was coming out of the woodworks for with Obama. What do they say? White lash, kind of like a backlash for putting a black president in there.
Right.
Again, it's a product of the fact that we're not dealing with the root issue. And people don't agree with me here. Some black people do, some people don't. What I'm going to say next, when you look at Martin Luther King. Martin Luther King had the nonviolent protests to make things happen.
Right.
And what I have learned, or what I see now, is it wasn't nonviolent. It was economic violence. It was social violence. People didn't just say, "Hey, it's wrong to have slaves," and somebody said, "You're right. Let's stop doing that." They didn't do that. So it took pressure for them to change. So guess what happened? Nobody really changed. Those people didn't really change.
But
they let them go.
Don't implement pressure anymore. Now we're just back to the point where we're unifying in order to implement that pressure. For years,
right?
We were complacent. We did not want to implement any pressure because we were complacent. We were happy with where we were in life. We were happy with our jobs. We were happy with this no segregated schools. We were happy then. But right now, people's eyes are opening up, and the statues are something visualizing. Hey, we were suppressed. Hey, we went through all this.
We still are.
We're good people, and we're glorifying the people who are racist, the people who suppressed our people, and we're glorifying them. So that's the reason that the statues have to come down.
Right. But what I'm saying is somebody's got to say.
Very well spoken, Ms. Sheila.
Without somebody's got to decide, like some white people have, this is just wrong. The white people who changed because you put pressure on them, they did not change. They just are forced to do something different. And as soon as the pressure is gone, because every so many years we put the pressure on, and then things seem to change. They didn't really. The pressure was on. So if I'm finna get a whooping, I got to stop doing this for now. And then as soon as the pressure goes, what happens with pressure? We find the weakest places and it comes back out. And I don't know how to do it, don't get me wrong, but if something doesn't change and we just do the right thing because it's right, every few decades you're going to see this because nobody's dealing with it and saying this is not right. Change it.
Well, here's what I think. And this goes back to culture, okay? Culture, honestly, is going to be what's going to change the atmosphere of the whole thing. Because what back in the 50s, 60s, predominantly white people had their own frame of thought as far as how black people should be, where black people should live, and everything. 30, 40 years now, you have a culture now where it's okay for black men and black women to date or to have interracial relationships. And then what happens is that's a mingling of the two, of black and white. Now, 30 to 40 years from now, even after that, you're going to have their kids who are mixed, who see both sides, but don't have the mindset of the people who grew up in the 40s and 50s. So all I'm saying is that over time, a lot of people don't want to say over time, a lot of stuff is going to change. Like it might not be in our generation, and it might not even be in the generation that we but 2 or 3 more generations down the line, you're going to see a culture change where
because there's a lot of mixed going on, which is what white people are fighting against. So with those goofballs, trying to preserve the pure white race. Because I guess they see that too.
They can't preserve them white girls and got some of that black dick now.
Exactly. I mean, as long as y'all keep whipping it out, showing it to them.
They won't get
Let me ask you this. What about the thought, you got white people saying, we don't want to mix because we want to preserve the white race. You got black people saying, we ain't trying to mix because we want to preserve the black race. So how long will it really take, or will each side ever win?
And here's what I think. Right, most black men would. It doesn't. Most straight black man doesn't care the type of woman as long as it's a woman. You know what I mean?
I agree. So you
a
saying it's most black women who don't want the racism in?
No, it's not even that. It's just
it don't matter.
what I feel is that.
Pink, red, green, purple.
No, what I
If it's
think.
purple, you some wrong.
Oh no, yeah, that's.
Don't say purple.
Yeah, she got that Usher. That's what that is. Your insides bleed. No. No, my whole thing is that it's not in reference to black women not wanting it to happen. Black women see it happening a lot of times where black men just choose white women. I mean, but that's
I
what
see a lot of black women with white guys,
Right.
and then other black women are criticizing them for it.
Yeah, I've experienced that. Yeah.
Right, man. That's like a frame of thought
just
for
have
them.
money,
You
that's
know,
all.
They pay JEA.
I know a whole lot of broke white dudes with black ladies.
I don't
But
know
I
that's a
don't want
problem.
them. I don't want them. I don't want them.
But see, even that's a bad stereotype.
Yeah, but I mean,
Yeah.
but you look at it like this, right? For how many years, right? Have we been told by white people that one drop of black blood makes you black?
Yeah, for years.
So
for years,
I mean,
for
it
years.
doesn't make a difference. What's going to happen is that what they don't understand is that a majority of the white people that you see are black anyway.
For instance, like me,
they don't
my
know it.
grandmother's
Right.
half white, and as dark as I am, my grandmother was half white.
So your
you
great
see me
grandmother or father was white.
white, and then I grew up going places, and people thought I worked for her because she looked white.
bright skin,
She
yeah.
had the green eyes and everything, and then and even when I went places with my cousins, they like, "Are you really related?" Or even with my sister, "Are y'all really sisters?" Because they were fair skinned and I'm dark skinned. So you can't look at me and tell me, "Hey, my grandmother was half white, but I'm dark skinned."
All my family was black, charcoal black.
Original descendants.
Original descendants of Africa.
Yeah,
My great grandmother lived
Kumbaya.
until 1997, and she was 109 when she passed. So we had 6 generations living at the time.
Oh, that's a blessing, brother.
Wow.
Right. So she used to tell us about, how she came in and where she came from and what part of Georgia and stuff like that. So yeah, we midnight through and through. Now my a generation before mine, my cousin, he got with a couple of white girls, and we got some mixed kids running around in the family now and stuff like that. And they got good hair.
So even when you say that, you sound
stuff
disappointed.
like that. I'm not disappointed at all. Everyone's here to love. You know what I'm saying? I was just saying my direct bloodline is kind of dark. You know what I'm saying?
Everybody claiming they're Cherokee. I'm Cherokee too.
I got Indian in my family.
Well, I'm
Y'all
part
see Cherokee?
Indian. I'm part Indian. I'm from the Slapaho tribe,
You still injured.
and I slap a hoe in a minute.
How
That was
fast
a
you
joke
driving
to
there,
all
ninja?
domestic abuse. PSA, I'm not a woman beater.
Yeah,
I ain't showing out today.
he just into slapping hoes.
Right. You're not a hoe. That wasn't for you.
Right. So if you're on Phillips Highway now,
Myrtle Avenue,
know what
20th
I'm
Street
saying?
Expressway, Moncrief and Avenue B.
But just to piggyback, you're making a really good synopsis. It's just like we're mixed right now, and now the black people, David Emmanuel, Kuta Kente, Panson, want everybody to
Kuta
be
Kinte.
totally solidified and being all black. But you got to realize that it's a melting pot. We got a touch of everything in us. And I'm like, I'm one of those people like David who wants to, hey, I want my kids to date black men. I don't want my kids to do interracial dating.
So this is what I'm asking you,
I do
Leroy.
not want my kids.
I hear you.
Let me tell you, my father felt like my grandmother did not have an opportunity that I had, even in high school.
Right.
As dark skinned as I am, only thing that now white men love me. Black men, they want fair skins. But now I go back to what my father said. I only date in my race.
So now, if you got, so what does that say for your theory that we're going to be mixed enough 2 or 3 generations from now?
Mixed, and all my mixed white
But check this out, right? It's like this. When you look at your music videos,
right,
back in the 40s and 50s, you had black people who would get the perm and then they went to comb over and all of that. Y'all remember that? Y'all can agree, right?
Yeah.
Because what you saw on television was a depiction of what white people wanted you all
Absolutely,
to see.
I agree
right?
100%.
So that's kind of like a programming of the culture then.
Right.
So you look at what's on TV and what's programming the kids now. If you don't, I mean, we don't like to see it, the love and the hip hops, all of them, your rap videos and stuff like that. MTV now and all of that are playing black music now. So our music of what we put out or what they allow us to put out, the culture and stuff, it's changing. Or it's programming the next generation. You know what I mean?
In what direction, though?
But see, that's what I was getting ready to say, because now you have them saying it's okay for or effeminizing men now. It's okay for men to wear dresses and stuff.
Yeah.
So now you're seeing more of the culture where you see thugs in the street walking around with skirts on. You know what I mean? And everybody, but they think it's okay.
Rompers.
Right, and rompers and stuff like that. All I'm saying is that
big balls in front.
when one, what she said, I mean, not saying
big balls in the back.
all I'm saying is that I'm not saying nothing about the balls in the back.
I'm just saying. If I gotta have some balls, I won't mind in the front. They're in the back, they ain't mine. Another way, that's not a good situation.
So how are we gonna go from, if you got white people saying don't mix because we're gonna lose the white folks, and you got, why is my headphone ringing?
But you know what?
So if you got white people saying don't mix the races, black people saying don't mix the
black
races,
girls watch.
it ain't never going to, it ain't never gonna ever change.
We'll get to you, okay?
You gotta answer that?
No, that's it.
So that's my point. Like, I feel like it ain't gonna change until somebody says this is wrong, and pressure is not gonna make it change over for good. Just doing the right thing will. But if white people are saying we don't want to mix white races, black people are saying we don't want to mix black races, so it's gonna always be a clash, and then it'll never get to things changing based on what you
mix with them.
Here's the thing. Here's the thing, Joseph. It ain't. It's gonna get to where it needs to be. The problem is, you can love your race and not be racist.
Yeah. I agree.
And that's what we try to get. We try to get that across to white people. It's okay to say, you love being white. There's nothing wrong with you being white. I don't have a problem with you being white. The problem is when you don't acknowledge that I'm equal to you or that there's problems in this country. It's cool to want your child to date your race and for them to do the same, because there's going to be other families who don't care either way, so they're going to intermingle and mix anyway. So you're still going to have everything you need to do.
So would that be able to be saying, should you, let's say if you were one and I was one that decided I don't want my kids dating other race but black, should I be teaching that then?
I do.
Should I fight against others who have?
No, that's what I'm saying. We all got to be our own people.
Well, I'm not fighting.
What I'm saying is, what I believe, and because you don't believe what I believe, don't mean I have a problem with you. It'd be like, okay, that's cool. You doing what you're doing.
We'll agree to disagree.
Right. You doing what you're doing. I'm gonna do what I do. But but
so
I
it still comes back to what you said, though.
The
systemic racism is still going to exist.
Well, see, I'm not a racist. I have nieces and nephews who are mixed.
I'm not calling you racist.
I mean, but I just feel. I just feel that I want my kids to because it's just like there's some men who I don't date black women. There's some black women who say I don't date black men.
See, I think any of that to me is ridiculous.
I mean, but I want my kids to actually maybe later in life explore. I'm not gonna say I told them my preference is that I would like you to date other black men because like me.
So if they brought home an Asian chick, you ain't gonna treat her like bad.
I'm gonna tell you, I done dated United Nations, baby. I done dated Russian, German, Chinese, you name it, I done dated. But I love my black men. I have never had sex with another race, but I got me a meal or two out of the other ones.
So we just use them for their.
Yeah, I had a Chinese. I call him buy here, pay here, baby. He was buying and paying.
You call him buy here, pay here.
Buy here, pay here.
Yeah, buy here, pay here. But he didn't even taste the goodies. You know what I'm saying? So I'm okay.
I just want to buy you
drink. I will tell him I'm gonna go out. Can I take you shopping before you go out? No problem.
You let me sniff your panty.
No problem, baby.
Your fortune cookie says yes.
My fortune cookie says yes, and they put the lottery number in there.
So what's up? Fearless leader here.
Y'all raise some good points. What I believe is that it takes all of us who are black to one, love each other and then love ourselves. I think one thing that David does have like intense passion about is for black people, regardless of any creed or any religion, to just be one with one another.
Because I don't think you gotta perm your hair to feel more accepted. No. You can be black.
Yeah, that's why I like Black Girls Walk. They just had a thing let us know that it's okay to be black. It's okay to wear your hair now.
But the fact that we have to have that, that's what the problem is.
Even my kids, the reason why I tell my kids it's okay to be black, because my kids are young. I want to look like Dora. I want the straight hair like Dora.
Right.
Baby, you don't have that hair Dora got, because your hair is not that kind of hair. Your hair is big hair. So embrace having the hair that you have, because you don't have straight hair like Dora. You don't have straight hair like Barbie.
Right.
But embrace the person that you are.
So do you feel like we don't need to? Because what you just said, Black Girl, I like that organization as well.
I do.
And I remember being young, and even now, being taught this and realizing it for myself that as a black man, I have to deal with life in a way that shows white people I ain't crazy. I can hang with y'all.
Right.
And I had to break out of this instilled systematic thought that I have to fight to show I'm not inferior.
Right.
To the world. And so the fact that we have to have a Black Girls Rock.
Because
the fact that we have to say black people are okay. The fact that you got to do that says that there's still a problem that has to be dealt with.
Look like this, right? I got to point out one thing. There's two types of insects. One is a butterfly. The other one is a spider. Now, if you've seen one, which one would you be afraid of? The spider. Most likely it's going to be the spider.
If you saw one, yes.
It's going to be the spider. Most time you see a butterfly, the butterfly is cute. Now, what made you think that the butterfly was cute? Come to find out, the butterfly might be the poisonous one. But what they program into
That's what I'm saying.
So what's going to boil down in your situation is the fact that you're fighting. If you're telling your daughter or your child that you can't have that, you got to have your hair, you got to love your hair, you're fighting against the program of the world.
But that's my point, Leo. I'm saying the fact that we have to do that says that there is a problem that nobody's dealing with. How do you get a white person to realize, and some white people get it, but how do you get a generation of white people to realize to stop saying, you don't have to, I teach white people this, you don't have to be racist for racism to exist now. It's a system that exists. It's the programming that's been put into you and put into me. They did a study and they asked little black kids to pick the pretty doll. They picked a white doll.
The black doll.
They picked a little white baby doll. I met a lady who said this. She said I was walking from my car. She was at Latitude 30 back before they messed up. Man, I wish they hadn't. But anyways, she was walking from my car. You know how they got that the way the parking structure is under that thing. She walked from her car. These two black dudes was like, "Hey man, hey miss," white lady. And she said immediately she got nervous. She got scared. She was walking faster.
I would have.
And they was like, miss. Hold on. Watch this though. And this is her story. She said, and finally one ran up to me and called me and said, "You left your trunk wide open." And she said, immediately I realized that the only reason I was concerned in the moment that I saw them was because they were black. And not every white person is going to do that. It's going to come to their own revelation. I met another lady who said, my mom and dad, out of their mouth, they always taught me nobody's different. She said, I don't know where I picked up over the years that black people were different, because it's a system that exists.
But I agree with that. But I have a friend that I go out to lunch with.
It's the programming.
Once a week.
But
she has a rebel flag tattooed on her arm, and I've been out having lunch with her. And people like, are you sitting there with that white lady with the rebel flag that's tattooed huge, her whole arm? But I'm like, you know what? I'm not judging her by that rebel flag. I'm loving her for the person.
Right, no, that's absolutely correct. But I'm saying that the system that exists, because she don't have to be racist for racism to exist, for the programming to be in the air that's messing with people. And that's what I'm talking about when I say if we don't get to the core.
But one of the ways to change that, though, is for those people that are not racist, is when they see the systematic racism, that they acknowledge it and do something about it.
True.
See, that's the problem.
That's the problem.
When we say white privilege, they don't feel like they have white privilege, but
Right.
then they get it afforded to them all the time, and they don't
So
realize.
they don't
blind.
realize
and then
it.
they just roll
'Cause
with
I've
it,
heard-
and it's because they've
Yeah.
been blessed. I mean, if I'm white and she's black, and we both up for the same position, and they give it to me because I'm white, I'm not gonna
They
be
did
like, you know
another.
what?
They did
This
another
is
study
not
about the
right.
names.
You know what I'm saying? This is not right. You should have gave it to her.
Right.
You gotta go ahead and benefit.
They did another study. They looked at the names, and they did it on purpose. They took the exact same resume and put a black sounding name and a white sounding name,
Yep.
and like 80% of the time, they picked the white sound on the exact resume just to show that it's programmed in our thinking that that name right there is probably going to come with drama, and the other name is not going to come with no drama.
So Shaquita did not get it because of her name.
Right, but Shelley
Because of
got it,
Shaquita's
and it was
mom
the
giving
same
her that
exact one.
ghetto-ass
But I
name.
talked to some white people, and this is what they said: my kids, I can't afford my kids' public school. I mean, private school. I'm broke. What do you mean I got a privilege? And what I had to try to explain to them is, I said, okay, don't see it as you have a leg ahead. Don't stop looking at it that way. I said, look at it as black people have a leg behind. You know, you're born with both of your hands ready to squab, ready to take on life. We're born with one hand tied behind our back, trying to take on life. So because they got their hands up trying to fight to make life meet too, they feel like, what are you talking about?
Right.
I have a privilege. I say, okay, yeah. So you don't have a privilege. You don't got 3 fists. You don't have a privilege. I say, you're born with both hands ready to squab and ready to make this life work for you. I'm born with one hand tied behind my back. I got to fight against what you're fighting against. Plus, I got to fight against you. And that's what they don't understand. And trying to make them understand that.
But the biggest thing is when you just say that, just let them know that when you try to say you got white privilege, just say you get the benefit of the doubt.
That's
every
good,
time.
yeah. You get the benefit just because you're white.
Just because. Every single time.
That's true.
Yeah.
You get the benefit
That's
of the
good.
doubt.
I never thought of it like that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because I didn't have to do. I had a suit on. I was buying something for my business in a suit, paying with $100 bill in Dollar Tree, and the dude tells
You
me,
about to rack up.
I ain't.
Shopping.
No, I'm perfect. I was gonna make a killing.
Hey, I was here balling out of
He
Dollar
balled it
Tree.
out. Got a whole
And the dude was like,
$100
look, and the dude was like, I don't want to take your money. I said, why? He said, because I don't have to. And I mean, he was blatant. He said, I don't have to. I said, what you mean you don't have to? I'm buying some stuff. Take my money. He said, I don't have to. You need to leave. I said, I ain't leaving.
Really?
What Dollar Tree was this?
This was the one on University right by St. Augustine Road.
Yeah.
You know where the
Yeah.
McDonald's and the gas station and the car wash is. It was that Dollar Tree. And so I was like, I ain't leaving. He said, I'm calling the police. I said, call them. And it's interesting. I mean, I was a little arrogant too, because now you got me mad. I'm standing my tail right in this line until you take my money. It was all the way back there, but I was not moving.
So why would you take your money?
Because he didn't have to. He didn't want to. It was a white guy. And the police came
So
in.
every black person in that line, he's not taking their money?
But I have no idea.
So what happened?
Because I
The
know I got
police
these black
came-
people going into a Dollar Tree
Look,
on
the
University.
police came in, and the police came in like hostile. Another white guy,
Right.
And he says, "Where's the guy at?" And he said, "Right here." And the police was like, "Oh," I was in a suit, sharp,
No dread.
well spoken, all of that. And the police he was like, now he didn't know what to do. And he was like, "Sir, what's going on?" I said, "He won't take my money for no apparent reason." He said, "You don't have to." And the police said, "The truth is, I can't make him because it's a public place. He doesn't have to take it. What you probably need to do is, call the people and do all this stuff." But I was blown away, A, that the man didn't want to take my money, but B, the police was expecting to see some ghetto fabulous joker wilding out, and when he didn't, I saw his demeanor change when he
You gotta
saw
be
me.
non-threatening.
So again,
Even then,
you got to be,
yeah.
and that's sad. Like you said, why do I have to be non-threatening
I don't understand
before
why
you
he wouldn't
respect
take
me?
your money. Well, shit, he wouldn't take my money. I walk like that bitch with this shit in my bag. I'm like,
But
hell, I
see,
tried to
then they
pay
got
you.
you.
Then when the
That
police
is-
came, they would have had a reason to do some stuff.
Now you stealing. You ain't got
But
no
see,
receipt.
here's one of the reasons why we should use the warfare of what Martin Luther King was talking about. Like you said, he wasn't doing violence physically, but he was doing violence economically.
And-
I
yeah.
would, as a group of black people in general, if you are watching this, there should be a time where you don't even go into that store and pass it to your friends and family.
Wait,
if
so
you got to go
tell
to
some people. I'm gonna tell some people about that.
but even still, don't shop at Dollar General. Period.
Dollar Tree.
Or
Dollar
don't go
Tree.
to the Dollar Tree. Period. Go to Dollar General. We know it's called Dollar General because it's generally $1.
And don't buy the
All
steaks
of
from Dollar Tree.
all of it.
Chips. Dollar Tree sells
They're gonna
steaks
start
now.
closing down Dollar Generals once they find out it's Dollar General Lee or Dollar General.
And then hey, you go to Dollar Tree, we're paying $1 for a 3-ounce steak. You know something wrong with that steak. Don't go in there.
Yeah, they got meat glue in it, connecting the meat together.
If you paying $1 for a 3-ounce steak, you don't need
realize
to be
all the way
eating
to the
steak.
back
Right.
and freezer.
I
Yeah.
saw the sign. I'm like, oh my God.
You need to.
But-
I went to work and asked my coworkers they want me to make them a steak dinner the next day.
With the $3
the
steak.
the 3-ounce dollar steak.
Give it to the lady with
Yeah.
the
So you were
flag.
sharing like a dog.
Hey, they get on my nerves so bad. I'm gonna give every last one of them a steak. I put in a broadcast message. Anyone want a steak dinner tomorrow? They got $1.
Don't know it came from Dollar Tree.
I told them I said they got $1 steaks at Dollar Tree.
3 ounces all the way to the back. And the frozen steak.
That's
I
insane.
Well-
was gonna eat it, but I was gonna give it.
Well,
to them.
listen, y'all. I appreciate it. We didn't get to all the topics that we wanted to get to today, and David was calling. I apologize, bro, that we couldn't get to you at the end because things was getting a little heated. But listen, it's been an hour. We did start late, but I still took it to a full hour. I thank everybody on the panel for at least sticking with it. I apologize to everybody. I was running a little late. My kids wanted to come over and spend the night, but they wasn't done in the shower at their house. So I had to wait on them. So, hey, kids will be kids. But listen, we ready to close the show. I thank you all for watching. Before I go, does anybody have anything that they want to plug? Y'all doing
I do.
anything?
I want to plug something.
Go ahead.
Okay.
I'm going to be at the Comedy Zone September 6th. That's a Wednesday. The show starts at 7:30. Inbox me on Facebook, Comedian Foxy Gunn or Shalia Gunn to get some free tickets. If you see me out, I got some free tickets for you. Come out and support me. It's going to be the All-Star Showcase. September 6th, 7:30 p.m. See you there.
Be on time.
Please be on time, because I'm never on time. Be on time. Please. Thank you.
Joseph, you got anything going on?
Yeah, I guess I'll wait for ours. Right.
Okay, yeah, we'll wait on that one.
We got a conference coming up in October, the second Saturday in October. Leroy will be there doing some comedy. It'll be some great speakers on finances, health and wellness, parenting, marriage, all those different types of things. We have a new partnership with the company that I was telling you guys about, financial services. We're teaching people how to trade on the Forex market so you can put making money in the palm of your own hands. We have classes that teach business development. So just reach out to us. You can go to our Facebook page, Harvest Group Institute, or my personal page, Joseph Talbot Jr. My phone number is there. But we got a great team of people. We have one young lady we helped with her business. She's now making $45,000 a year with her own business. So that's what we do. We try to take people from where they are to where they want to go with their finances and their income. Other than that, I hope to see you guys at our next event, our conference in October.
Awesome.
That is great. I will be there too. Come check us out, yo. And it ain't no joke. I'm learning about the Forex trading too and foreign currencies. And man, that's something that you definitely want to get in if you're looking to make a large amount of money and do it the right way.
I watched my teacher make $1,700 in 3 hours from her phone, like in just trading on her phone in her little trading app. And when I saw it, I was like, you gotta teach me how to do that. Like I'm in. I will put everything on the back burner to learn that.
Yeah.
And then the second piece, I decided we created a partnership to where with our company we can teach people how to do this to change their financial state.
Well, I need it because I'm selling lingerie at mascaras and that. Them strippers ain't got no money.
Lord.
Yo, I'm gonna be there.
Or you can dance if you want to.
Yeah,
I saw Leroy. He was working a pole one day. I turned around and walked back out because I didn't want bad influence.
You ain't see these titties on no pole. Ain't nobody paying for this.
He was upside down doing his splits. Hold on. But he still has his hat on though. That's why I was blown away. It didn't fall off.
Yo, this hat don't come off for nothing. If I do that, hey, I work it now. Anyway, don't tell Keita that I strip, okay? I think I do something strange for a piece of change.
She always wonder how you got that extra money.
Yeah, she know how I do it. They call me Frank Dangalang. That's what that's my nickname. Yeah, Frank Dangalang. But check me out. Yeah, I'm also going to be on the show at the Comedy Zone with Foxy Guns. We're going to go ahead and rock the house. We got some new comics that'll be going to hit the stage. Come out and show your support. We definitely appreciate it. Oz, y'all got anything y'all got going on?
I'll be working the pole at Nassau Sound, fishing. And also you'll see me at work on Tuesday because I will show up. And I will be at the Comedy Zone on the 13th and the 27th.
Oh, I'm down with you on the 13th, aren't I? Yep, yes
so.
I am.
My birthday is September 14th.
Oh, well, you should come on out
To
then.
the Comedy Zone.
Come on out to the Comedy
I
Zone.
thought about it. I should.
Yeah,
Are you going to be
yeah.
performing?
On the 13th?
Oh, yeah,
Oh, I can come out for my birthday for that.
Yeah, you can come
I'll
out
do
there.
that.
I'm
I'll
going to
do
be at the
that. I'll do
Comedy
that.
Club of
They sent me an
Jackson the 7th.
invitation.
You going on the 7th?
Oh, that's the
Come on.
yeah, I'm gonna try. They've giving out money.
I'm finna go
I'm
get
gonna be
this
there.
money.
Make sure I get the information for that. I ain't never been to that club.
Okay, I got you.
But I'll come out there for my birthday.
Right
For
here.
sure.
Okay.
Me and Leroy, whoever win between me and Leroy, we're gonna give each other 10%.
Where's this at?
At the Comedy Club on Beaches. I talked to them. It's gonna be open mic on Thursday.
Thursday at 7.
Thursday at 7 on September 7th.
Oh,
Thursday.
yeah. Comedian.
That's what's
Yeah,
up.
make sure you come in. Anybody performing, if you win, let me get my 10%. That's your tithes for comedy. Comedy tithes.
Luckily, I don't pay tithe. So I'm gonna tell you, I'm like, listen right here, Jesus, you're gonna have to wait, Jesus. Oz, you got anything
Yeah,
going
man,
on,
I'm
man?
gonna be actually at the Comedy Club of Jacksonville on Thursday doing that little open mic thing. We'll get up and do a little time. After that, I'll be traveling to Belize next weekend. So
All right now. Big
going
money.
down there and do a little comedy, and a
Awesome.
little vacationing, and taking my tight shirt down there, and
Awesome.
I've been working on my body, my 6-pack, getting it right. So,
Hey, show the people.
stay
You got
tuned-
one yet?
Stay tuned for Facebook Live from Belize. I'm gonna have myself all oiled up in that virgin
Oh, my
olive
God.
oil, and I'm gonna be shining
took a
and
while.
glistening,
He
and
said virgin olive
She
oil.
gonna have
Virgin olive oil.
I'm gonna dip my
use
head
some
in the
Crisco
oil,
grease.
come back up, and I'm gonna be
Yo, how you gonna do it? Yo, do it again,
Listen, hey, the water gonna flick off your forehead when you come out of the water.
He said he gonna have
But anyway, y'all hit me up, man. I do church anniversaries. I do pastor anniversaries.
His nipples just got hard.
I do birthday parties.
I refuse to look.
I do retirement parties.
We ain't looking.
class reunion.
Class reunion, family reunions. Yeah.
Funerals.
I do funerals.
I did a funeral.
I do
before.
circumcision.
You did a stand up at a funeral.
Circumcisions.
Yeah, I do circumcision. I mean, that baby needs something to cry, laugh at after that. You know what I mean? I feel bad for her.
Skin off my dick. That's what he did. 53 years old, had not been circumcised. He getting circumcised this week. Shout out to my friend who getting circumcised this week.
Meatless.
Oh my goodness.
What?
Meatless.
Yo, on that note, yo,
Right,
we are out.
right.
I'm gonna pray for you, dude. Don't watch no television because you're gonna get hard by accident. Tear them
He
stitches.
said,
Go vegan.
Right.
All right, y'all. Thank y'all for watching, and y'all have a good night.
y'all have a great week, guys.
Peace out now.
Love, peace, and chilling, grease.